Seeing this, Wang Tang immediately roared, "You fucking stop right there!" I said, "No one can act at will. You're just an ordinary person. If you violate the ghost's taboo, all of us will be buried with you." However, the next second, Wang Tang seemed to see something even scarier than a ghost. My fair face showed no sign of life, like a pale corpse. Words came out of my mouth without any emotional fluctuations. "If you say one more word, I will kill you before the ghost comes." Just now, Xiao Hao and I went out to find an exit. We unexpectedly found that the blood-stained King Shan Mental Hospital appeared again, and this time even ordinary people's accounts. Seeing the hospital, I had an idea. I reached out and touched the wall. Sure enough, the mental hospital has overlapped with reality. Just like those living ghosts have become corpses. No wonder the mental hospital suddenly disappeared before. It was devouring the sales office. We are already in it. Is this the so-called weirdness? At this moment, we found a large pool of blood not far from the corridor, with an astonishing amount of blood, and the walls around were splashed with blood. There were also some remnants of flesh and bone on it. And torn salesgirls' work clothes and security guard's uniform. They should be the missing Zhang Xiaolei and the security guard. The saleswoman has a good-looking face and slim. That is, the amount of meat is much less than that of men. So it takes about 3 minutes to eat a man, while a woman only takes 2 minutes. Jiao Liang was just taken away. I guess the ghost is eating somewhere. We are still safe for the moment. I noticed that the edges of the clothes were cut very smoothly, which was obviously caused by some sharp blade. And then I thought, the weird things I saw in the hospital before? The first thing that came to my mind was the female doctor who could move freely. It must be him who did it. Then there was a sudden sound of footsteps behind us. Our hearts were in our mouths. It was Wang Tang and others. Several people walked out of the darkness. They wondered why they suddenly entered the hospital. This is Lai Feifei's uncontrollable scream. So much blood. Wang Tang's face became more and more ugly, as if he had thought of some terrifying scene. These are the remains of Lao Shao and Wang Shaoli. They were eaten. Li Feifei grabbed Wang Tang's arm in fear. "Wang Shao, let's get out of here quickly. I want to go home." Ying Ying Wang Tang woke up. Yes, let's go quickly. Fang Su, you lead the way." But I didn't do anything. His eyes were full of solemnity. "Time's up." Everyone was confused. "What time is it?" Suddenly, countless black hairs emerged from behind them, and there was a clicking sound. The sound was very crisp, like the sound of joints turning. They turned around with difficulty, and their souls were scared out. They saw a man in a white coat. "You are Zheng Dao hanging from the ceiling. You are staring at everyone," with his limbs swinging wildly. It was like a human-shaped spider approaching them quickly. Li Feifei screamed in fright, like a false start. Fortunately, everyone ran like crazy. Li Feifei was directly pushed to the ground. She wore Wang Tang's clothes to seek help, but saw the ghost doctor who was close at hand. Wang Tang slapped him with a big slap and instantly ran ahead of several people. Li Feifei struggled to wake up, but in the next second, his vision went black. Countless long dark hair fell on his face. The cold touch woke him up. A pale female doctor had already locked onto her. With despair in her eyes, she begged me and Xiao Hao in the hallway for help. And the next second, a scalpel was against her face. This was the hunting moment of the female doctor. Just now, Li Feifei, who was left behind, fell into. You mean, his desperate tears kept flowing and kept asking for help from me. Before he finished speaking, a bright light of the knife followed. It was Li Feifei. The head fell to the ground. However, the female doctor did not stop, but frantically wielded the scalpel and started to dissect the body. His technique was precise. She's old. He was serious, responsible, and focused on Li Feifei's body. Xiao Hao and I were watching from the side, but she didn't even look at us. After the autopsy, he started eating like a hungry tiger. Seeing this scene, I had a preliminary guess about his killing pattern. I calmly walked up to the female doctor, then clenched my fists and hit her hard. But it was like hitting an iron with a bleeding fist, which made me realize the gap between myself and her. Humans are as weak as ants in the face of the weird. Perhaps only by becoming a spirit master can we change this situation? At this time, Xiao Hao trembled and reminded Su Jie, "Let's run away." I was extremely calm. The ghost's killing rule is to kill nearby and only kills one person at a time, and then dismember and eat with a scalpel. The time when he eats is the safest time. Although Li Feifei is slender, but she has plenty of flesh in the right places. Her meat can last at least 3 minutes. Xiao Hao, who was originally extremely nervous, heard the word meat quantity, couldn't help vomiting. I continued. To become a spirit master requires the contamination of the mind by the strange power. The place with the strongest strange power is naturally the ghost. And physical contact, which will be infected faster. I looked at Nai. It was a 2.5 meter long snake. I stretched out my righteous hand. I touched her fair and smooth thigh again and again. The touch was very cold. It felt like touching a corpse. Seeing this scene, Xiao Hao felt his 3 views were shattered. He thought that watching porn and masturbating every day was already pornographic enough. I didn't expect I would even take advantage of ghosts, seeing that I was enjoying it. One man's pleasure is not as good as all's. He gritted his teeth. He came to the female doctor. He squatted down and trembled as he reached out and touched the female doctor's thigh. He praised me. I gasped in surprise. It felt like touching an ice cube. We continued to touch for a while, but I didn't feel any change. Unexpectedly, the first time I touched a woman's thigh was actually a dog. But this dog's long legs are really long. I looked at her in surprise. This kid has a strong adaptability. Although he was scared at first, but now he's in the mood to joke. Maybe he has some potential. I checked my phone. I've been touching for a minute and run away after another 30 seconds. I left enough time to escape. 30 seconds passed in a flash. I turned around and ran without hesitation. A count was right behind me. When I entered the Kingshan Mental Hospital before, I took note of the general layout and routes inside. Now I will take advantage of the terrain to distance myself from the lost. But the next second, a surprise happened. A few strands of black hair suddenly fell from my eyes. I saw you chasing after me. Did I misjudge the law of murder? There were at least 2 minutes to escape. Why did he catch up so quickly? I looked back at Lei Feifei's body, and my pupils suddenly dilated. I saw 2 large pieces of silicone on the ground. The body had been eaten up. Damn, it's a fake. I was shocked that I made a mistake at this point. You were a flash. Came behind me. A silver light flashed. My body and head were directly separated. Before, I only had one thought, wish there was no silicone. Because a woman secretly put 2 pieces of silicone on her chest, which caused me to die again at the hands of ghosts. But this time I didn't come back to my dear wife, but back to the moment when I touched the ghost's thigh. It seems that death reverberation is based on events. I had already cleared the neighborhood, so the save time automatically came to Kingshan Mental Hospital. I remember that I died of silicone last time. I swore I would never make the same mistake again. I pulled Zheng Hao up and left. At this time, Account was still immersed in the joy of touching the ghost's thigh. Hearing that his front and back were made of silicone, almost dropped his chin. It's made of silicone. No wonder it's so big. Without hesitation, we immediately ran downstairs. Without much effort, we met Wang Tang and his group again. Hearing the footsteps jumping down from upstairs, Wang Tang screamed in fright. He thought it was a ghost chasing him. I jumped in front of them. They relaxed until they saw it was me. They were relieved. Xiao Hao looked puzzled, asked why we were running so slowly. Slow? We've gone down at least 20 floors. I don't know why this building is so tall. How is that possible? Brother Xu and I only went down 3 floors and met you. What time is it? Don't talk nonsense. Be careful, I'll beat you up. What? It must be a ghost wall. Wang Tang's face turned livid. My cousin said that the power of ghosts can cause people to hallucinate, which may cause the ghost wall. People who encounter the ghost wall will keep spinning in place and never escape. That's why Feng Xu and the others could catch up with me quickly. Hearing this, I instantly had an idea. Let them throw away their extra items on the ground and make a mark. Hearing this, everyone searched their bodies and took out some banknotes, cigarettes, and grass for the dead. Then we started running towards the project again. However, it was just a meal. At the corner, we found the items we had just thrown on the stairs. Everyone looked panicked. This is the lighter I just threw away. And my money. I was speechless. I picked up the Zizeng Debichu that Wang Tang threw. Wang Tang remembered his cousin said that to get out of the ghost wall, only rely on spirituality. Now he had to check quickly. If anyone wants to light up their spirituality, then he put his hands together and started to chant. He didn't say how to check. Everyone had to imitate his posture. I just felt that these people were crazy. Instead of praying for nothing, I might as well focus on searching for clues everywhere. At this time, I had a new movement in the ghost wall. I felt the wall and kept walking down. When I reached the 10th step, the touch on my hands suddenly became smooth and cold. An iron door appeared on the wall. When Wang Teng heard someone, he couldn't help rushing up in ecstasy. But how to open it? I felt around the door for a while. I twisted something like a doorknob. A dimly lit corridor appeared in front of me. Huang Teng rushed in like crazy. The others saw the exit, also ran in like crazy, and instantly left me at the end.